judged in the same circumstances or conditions.
And what was the word, honey?
Judgment.
Don't judge another, except that you change your name for that person. Let's say, I'm going to say that Harry is too fat. All right? Now that's a judgment call, right? No. What I need to do is say Paula is too fat. Okay?
Okay. And with every measure of judgment that is passed upon another, so art they judged as well.
Okay.
Why dost thou marvel at the statue of the circumstances that thou hast formed in thyself?
Mm-hmm.
Present obstacles, hindrance, roadblocks placed within your path, and why art thou calling these things difficulties?
So, I get you, baby. I get you. You know what it said? I heard you say roadblocks. I heard you say obstacles. So even last week, you know, most of the time when teenagers go and try to get their license, it took me 3 times. I think it took your daddy 5 times. But there's very rarely does a teenager go and get their license the first time. I think it's a cautionary period from a precautionary period on the, what's the guy that's doing the stuff? The patrolman. Yeah, it's him. And so when last week, when you did that, what he did is cause you to come back this week, okay, to get your license. Now, what did you just say? Because I've forgot what I was saying.
Present obstacles, hindrance, roadblocks.
There you go. The obstacle last week, but you took it real well. Even though you were so anxious to get your license, you were so anxious to get your license, every 16-year-old is. But you took it real well, honey. And so there was nothing, that roadblock, that obstacle, that barrier that was presented last week, because you didn't get it. You know, a lot of times people say, why did you not get it? That person did this, that person did that, why did he do that? Okay, it's saying, who needs it? You do. You needed the obstacles. You needed the barriers. You needed the roadblocks. It's all part of that beautiful, beautiful picture that unfolds every moment. Go ahead.
Why art thou calling these things troubles and woes?
All right.
How can we differentiate between the two?
That's right. How can we differentiate between the two? Now, and that's a good question, honey. And you're 16. Let's see if you can answer that. That's a very difficult question. And you give it whatever Pisces answer, even if you tell me to butter a cake. I don't care what the answer is. But how, as human beings, can we really say what is good or bad?
We can't, really.
Okay, how come we can't?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, we can't really say what's good or bad. I don't know.
But do we do it?
Yeah.
We do it all the time. All the time. We misjudge a person's actions or their words, and we say in this situation it was bad, or somebody else may say it's good. The old cliche about the farmer, you know, somebody doesn't want it to rain, but the farmer needs rain. Which one's good and which one's bad? Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
By what means and by what ability can thou in thy position to acutely judge any occurrence?
That's good. That's exactly right. That's what we just said, sweetie.
Art thou not limited in thy thinking?
Are we? Are we not limited in our thinking? We said last week we wanted to be limited and concentrated. And what this is talking about, we talked about that last week, honey. We talked about your operation last year with your beautiful artistic purple cast, and how that was pretty, but you had pain in it. It was pretty on the outside, painful on the inside.
Yeah.
That's a human being. So the things that bring us the most pain, there's a lot of blessings locked in that pain. Hurt me one more time, please.
Art thou is not limited by judging captivity, or art thou is not presupposing outcomes thou thinkest would satisfy thee and bring a measure of happiness?
Woo! Now you're telling me, I can see why, who needs it. You're saying that any action that I take in my mind, what you're telling me, Bridget, any action that I take is going to benefit me. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for benefit.
Yeah.
I'm looking for gain. I'm looking for pleasure. And I'm looking to eliminate pain. So everything that I do or say or remember or ascribe to, there's that word again, I said I was going to do that, in some way is going to benefit me. And if I try to say that it's not, then I'm a liar. I'm a liar and I'm a fool. And I'm phony too. I'm all of those things because I'm human. That's what we are. Okay. And we run into trouble when we say, oh, I'm doing this because I'm spiritual. No, I'm doing this because I want some kind of glory is what I'm doing it for, if we need to say we're spiritual. Because a rose doesn't have to say it's a rose. It could say it's a peanut butter sandwich. Would it still be a rose?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what I just said?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to work on a scribe while you're there. Go ahead.
Or in the very least, some level of fulfillment in thy life. Judge so that not be judged.
Okay, I heard you. And let me see. Thank you, honey. We got a 15 going on. We got a 4, 13, 15. Bridget, this is crazy. We got two 15s. I've been using that ascribe. I must have used it because I'm conscious of words all the time. But I must have used ascribe. And for all of those who will be counting it for the rest of the hour, we'll see how many times I say ascribe again. But it's a 15 and a 15. We talked about this, and it's a 30. Remember that? That was a couple of shows ago. But that 30 is big business, and it also stands for art. But 15 and 15, that is food. Food for the soul, food for the, well, you know, it's food for the soul. Because our bodies, boy, I'm going off on a tangent now. Our bodies, when we turn back to the earth, we are food for the worms. Okay, we are wormwood. In actuality, that's the greatest thing we'll ever be. But this 15, while we're alive, our soul craves human experience. And so every authentic action that we can produce, and what is an authentic action? Don't think about it. Don't plan it, and don't think there's a right and wrong. Whatever happens in this hour, there is no right and wrong. Any hour we're on the air, it don't matter. No matter what happens, it is absolutely in order. Okay? And that goes back to relationships. Who needs it? Who needs that type of involvement? We do. That's why we're alive. We need the interaction and to see how authentic we can remain. What you want to do next?
It doesn't matter.
All right. Let's pull a book we haven't pulled. Want to do some?
You can read it.
Alice in Wonderland. Okay. Alice in Wonderland. This is Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland. Do as I tell you, you coward. That's somebody with an authority problem, isn't it? And at last she spread out her hand again and made another snatch in the air. This time there were 2 little shrieks and more sounds of broken glass. What a number of cucumber frames there must be, thought Alice. I wonder what they'll do next. As for pulling me out of the window, I only wish they could. I'm sure I don't want to stay in here any longer. I'm sure I don't want to stay in here any longer. Now, in life, we are spiritual beings, energy, ever how you want to, there goes that word, whatever meaning you want to ascribe to it. We are not this body. You know, this body is going to one day turn back to the elements of the earth. And that which we are, whatever that was and whatever we were before we got here, we're going to return to that, whatever that is. And there's nobody that has died and come back except, of course, Jesus Christ himself and some other masters. But I'm saying, and the moment that you think in yourself that this is all that there is no more to you. It goes back to bleeding into another. But staying here, as a human being, we feel this all the time. We feel that last line that she was saying, I'm sure I don't want to stay in here any longer. So we are encased in these fleshly bodies. We're encased in here, almost like prisoners. We're like doing time, okay? So we've got to fill our hours with things to do. So what do? We form relationships, we have families, we get married, we have children, we have careers, we buy cars. Some people even buy Bentleys, like I was talking about last week, and they get those Land Rovers. Range Rovers, like you're talking about. And they build bank accounts, and they create countries, and there's revolutionaries, and there's all kinds of things. I can go on and on and on. But the thing is, the moment that you take it personally, is that how this started out?
Yeah.
Where's the paper, honey? Somewhere. The moment that you take any of this personally, or that you identify with it, that's when your misery begins. You don't know what you're going to do any moment, as we were just talking about last year in your foot, or next year. You don't know. You don't have any idea any more than we know in this next hour what's going to take place. And I love that. Do as I tell you, you coward. Now, as I said, that's an authority. There's a lot of people who enjoy that kind of power. It makes them feel important and special and like they're doing something. I think we talked about last week too, that don't ever think that what you're doing is keeping you alive, because it's not. All right. This time there were two little shrieks and sounds of broken glass. What a number of cucumber frames there must be, thought Alice. I wonder what they'll do next. She waited for some time without hearing anything more. At last came a rumbling of little cartwheels and the sound of a good many voices all talking together. She made out the words. Where's the other ladder? Why, I haven't to bring but one. Bill's got the ladder. Bill, fetch it here, lad. Here, put 'em up at this corner. No, tie 'em together first. They don't reach half high enough. Oh, they'll do well enough. Don't be particular. Here, Bill, catch hold of this rope. Will the roof bear it? Mind that loose slate. Oh, it's coming down, heads below. A loud crash. Now, who did that? Okay, all of those things occurred with Alice in a very, very short amount of time. A lot of things. In this particular segment, I suppose, is when she had gotten so big. Do you know the story?
Yeah.
Okay, she got so big and she was in some room and she had to drink something, didn't she?
Yeah.
To get back down little. Well, so many people were trying to aid her in pulling her out the window, and so many things supposedly went wrong. And that's what I'm talking about. And then the ego steps in. The ego wants credit or it's going to blame. One or the other. Credit or blame. And both of those bring on misery, most especially in a relationship. You cannot take credit because you're not the one doing it, and you certainly cannot blame. All right, Bridget, what's next, honey?
You can draw something.
Okay, let's do that. That sounds good. You want your... Here. We got that drawing paper if you want it.
No, it's okay.
All right.
There's like a million you have to go for that.
Okay. All right. Which one to start with?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, since we're talking about the number 20, let's draw the number 20. Okay? Any way you want to. The number 20. You doing it? All right. Now, with the number 20, open up 20. Look in that book and find the picture for the 20.
This one?
Yeah, let's find the 20. There should be a, and I'm going to color this 20 while you're doing that. Okay? 20, 20, 20. 20, 20. 20 is a very significant number. People don't realize 20, 20, 20. You know you have 20 respirations in a minute. Did you know that?
Do you know?
Yeah. Okay, what you got? What's the name of it, sweetie?
Face in denial.
Face. Okay, where's the picture? Okay, hold that. Which you got a camera? All right, there you go. Get that picture. What's on that picture?
It's a duck and a bridge.
A duck and a bridge. All right, a duck and a bridge. I'm gonna write that down. A duck and a bridge. Do you know anything about a duck and a bridge?
Mm-mm.
Okay. You gonna read or you gonna color?
Yeah. Perhaps you are experiencing some anger because someone in your life bothers you in some way.
Wow. Bridget, do you know what you just said? Mm-hmm. Perhaps somebody in your life is bothering you in some way, and you're angry about it. That would be a relationship problem, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me put anger down here. I'm going to put anger. I'm going to put an A, and I'm going to put an N, and I'm going to put a G, and you going to do it too?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do that. I'm going to put an E, and I'm going to put an R. Let me see. I'm going to do that R. Okay. I'm going to do an R right there. That'd be pretty. Okay, anger in a relationship. Okay, we got an anger in a relationship going on here. Now, okay, I love this. That's pretty. That is really pretty. Who ever thought that anger could be pretty, Bridget? Your anger pretty?
It's okay.
Mine's pretty. Wait till you see mine. I'm not finished with it, but it's going to be pretty when it gets pretty. Anger. All right? For all of you at home, you can do the very same thing with your anger. Get out a marker and start drawing and start coloring and start moving and start laughing. You know, the reason people are angry most of the time, they don't laugh enough. You need to laugh more. Laugh more, laugh more, laugh more. Okay, Bridget, mine's going to be pretty. You wait until you see mine. You got yours done yet?
Yeah.
Good gracious, you're fast. Okay. I'm getting ready to hold up mine. This is anger. Okay, Bridget's got hers first. Zero in on hers. Let me see. Is it pretty? Let me see, Bridget. That's pretty! Okay, here comes mine. You got mine? Now this, visually, is what happens in relationships when we bring